So I just wanted to make a little update video. I am a week shy of 5 months on testosterone. This is my voice, 5 months on T. I've come out at work and I made a little video about kind of how I did that. I came out to my family. My immediate family I came out to a long time ago and then had to come out again. Because the first time didn't go so well. And then I came out to my extended family, and how I did that, so I don't live near my extended family. I thought about letters and telling them individually or calling them, and I knew that I wouldn't be able to express myself the way I needed to because I would be so nervous. So I ended up making a video, and it took a lot of tries because I wanted it to say everything I felt like I needed to say. And probably on like my 10th try, I finally felt comfortable with sending it. I waited a while. I sent it to my immediate family first because I just wanted them to see it. And since we don't see each other all that often, I feel like it would be helpful for them to hear my voice, hear any changes, just see me, because we really don't see each other all that often. And then I gave that like a couple weeks, and then I was so anxious that I just felt like I just needed to tell my family. I was already out at work, and it just felt really weird that my extended family didn't know. So I sent an email to my family with the link, and within maybe like 10 minutes, I heard from my aunt. She sent me an email back, and it was really positive. My cousin ended up calling me. I heard back from everyone I sent it to, which is probably the most ideal situation. Now my one cousin is like the most open, so she called me, we talked, she got to hear my voice, which was pretty deep at that point already. But this last weekend, I actually went home and saw all of them for the first time since coming out, which was hard and scary. The situation was also kind of awkward because it was my cousin's son's baptism. So it was like her husband's family too, and it wasn't like a intimate situation where like we could have talked. I did end up seeing my aunt and my cousin ahead of time, which I felt like was really helpful. We got to talk just a little bit about things, and they're not great on the pronouns. Most of them are trying. I'm almost certain that most of them don't even understand what it truly means to be trans, and I am also almost positive that they don't really know what I mean by like, I need you to use male pronouns. And they, them is like right over their heads, like, no, they have no idea what I'm talking about. So I'm taking everything with a grain of salt, because at the end of the day, it was really positive. It was actually better than when I came out to them as a lesbian when I was 14. They've come a really long way, and I'm giving them the benefit of the doubt because I know it's going to take a long time. They really don't see me all that often to be able to practice using different pronouns. And I think that honestly, it's going to take like me showing up with scruff on my face for them to realize that you don't use female pronouns anymore. Like, because I can see how that doesn't make any sense. Which is unfortunate, but I mean, honestly, it could have been much worse, so I am going to take it. And my uncle saw me on the way out, and he was like, just want you to know, like, we support you, we love you, and then he was like, oh, we're with you, sister. And I was like, in that moment is when I realized, I was like, you have no idea what I was even talking about, did you? So I realized in that moment how long this was going to take. But he was supportive nonetheless. And to me, like, that's what I wanted. That's what I needed. And I also don't see them all that often. So it's not the end of the world. It's going to take time. It's fine. I honestly think it was really good for them to see me because they got to see, like, oh, right, you are the same person. You're acting the same. And I think I could tell, like, my one aunt was awkward around me for a little bit, like, she didn't know how to be. And I just kind of was my normal self. And I think that she realized, like, oh, okay, you're not like this different person. I mean, they're Irish Catholics. Like, I am impressed with everything they've done. And, like, I'm impressed in them in general. They born and raised in the same place. They never left. Like, it's a big deal. So for me, it's a really big deal. So that's happening, has happened, and I am having top surgery, and I think it's like 56 days at this point, and I booked it like 9 months ago, and I've been saving, and I'm really excited. I actually told my job yesterday that I am going to be out for 2 months for surgery. They don't really know what it's for, but they don't need to know because it's not legal for them to know. And I still have to apply for short-term disability because my hospital does offer that. So I'm going to do that, and then I'm actually going to apply to try and get reimbursed at least some of the money that I paid out of pocket. It's not going to be a lot because I'm going to Dr. Garamoni, and he doesn't accept insurance, and he's going to be out of network. So it's basically just going to be like, a really, maybe like 15% of what I paid. But honestly, I'll take anything back. Because it's just been a lot of money. We've been putting so much money away. And it's been hard because I switched jobs. So I've been working, I haven't been able to work overtime because you can't work overtime when you're on orientation. And I used to work a lot of overtime. And I haven't been able to do that. So, yeah, I mean, all in all, things are going really well. I'm happy with the way I chose to come out to my family. Everyone's different. Everyone's situation is different. Some people would have felt better going to each individual family member and talking to them. I just, because of the distance, it's just worked for me. And I was really happy with it. And then it gave us some space. And then when they were able to see me when I went home, which is honestly one of the reasons I pushed myself to go home for this, because I wanted them to see me, and I wanted to see them because I really don't see them all that often. But yeah, I have top surgery on January 9th in Florida, and I'm really excited. And honestly, I don't really believe it's gonna happen just yet. I feel like it's one of those things I won't believe it until it happens, because I prefer to be. I'm always afraid to get too excited. It's like something could happen, anything could happen. The weather, we actually booked our flight like 3 days ahead of time just in case the weather was bad. So other than that, like, in terms of changes, almost 5 months, my voice is much deeper. I'm passing, I would say, like 80% of the time. Now when I'm on the phone, I definitely pass. I actually had a woman, when I called about short-term disability stuff, get confused because I told her my name was Britt. She said Mr., and then she must have pulled up my chart and saw female for my insurance stuff or for work. And then she was like, So, on the phone, definitely. I actually haven't weighed myself in a long time, but the last time I got weighed was 3 months, and I had put on 15 pounds. But I don't feel like it's not bad weight. I just put on extra weight. Also, my wife and I, in about the same amount of time, have changed our diet. So now we're mainly plant-based, vegan. So I felt better. So I don't know if it's the combination of both or what is it, but in general I felt better. My mood feels better. I do weekly shots of 0.35. I just increased it. Maybe at 3 months I increased just a little bit. And at first I was actually getting headaches, like the day after my shot. Every week I was getting a headache, but that seems to have stopped. Other than those things, like I'm like peach fuzzy. I actually shaved last night, but I'm like peach fuzzy. I have like peach fuzzes here and here and like on my lip, and then I'll get like 2 or 3 dark hairs that like curl backwards. It's not cute. So I've only shaved twice, but I when I do it all, because I feel like I don't really know if there's anything to this, but I just wanted to keep it even, so like maybe when it starts to grow, like actually grow, it's growing evenly. I could have just made that up. I have no idea. So there's that. My leg hair is crazy dark. I have a picture of right before I started testosterone and that I looked at the other day, and I was like, holy crap. And now it's like my thighs. So my thighs used to be like peach fuzz blonde, actually, and now that's dark too. And then my happy trail, I always had hairs, but now they're like darker and thicker. In terms of, I'm trying to think what else. My sex drive is still bonkers, but it was high beforehand, so it just made it that much worse or better, depending on who you ask. My wife has been amazing with it, so I'm lucky that I have her. And my appetite, I feel like, has leveled out. In the beginning, it was like crazy, and I feel like it's just kind of evened out. I generally eat more than I did before I started testosterone. Like, I didn't really, I ate like a bird. Like, I just kind of, and I was like, let's see, I think I was like 134 pounds before I started T, and I weigh, last time, well, that was at 3 months on T, but I was 156, which honestly, I don't feel it. Like, I've been that heavy before in the past, like years ago, and I knew that I gained weight, and I could feel it in my hips, and I could feel it everywhere, and I actually don't feel it. So I feel like I'm just denser in general. But my appetite's still there. I'm just like I just eat more in general, like at meals, snacks. I snack a lot. I have more energy at the gym. I can lift a lot more than I used to be able to lift, which is surprising every time. I'm like, I don't know how I'm doing this. It's so strange. What else? Honestly, I don't think there's all that much else. I took pictures before I started testosterone, and I've been taking them every month, again, and I can see that, like, I had really curved, I don't know what you call that, pear-shaped, I don't know, like my hips curved in like really intensely. So I'm starting to see that like creep out more and be like more boxy, which is nice, because I had never really liked that curve. It made me really uncomfortable. It's just a very feminine look, and I'm sure that there are all sorts of folks out there that would kill for it. It just wasn't for me. But I'm just boxing out a little bit more. My jaw is much wider, and I feel like it's more defined than it was. Like, I saw an old picture of myself, and I felt like my face was more oval, and now it's kind of more square here. Like, my head does this more than like cutting in. Other than that, I really don't feel like I've taken side pictures of myself, and I'm skinny. I know that. But when I look to the side, I'm just like a thicker, denser, skinny. I'm not like overly strong or anything like that. I lift, but I'm not like a lifting fiend. I just like to do it. I enjoy it. I used to be a personal trainer, so it's just something I enjoy doing. And I would say that's probably it. I'm gonna take pictures at 5 months, which is in a week or so. Yeah, Thanksgiving. Yeah. And I'll do like a voice update and all that stuff. But yeah, it's been crazy and honestly really great and affirming, because I went into this not knowing how I was going to feel and if I was going to want to keep going on testosterone. I just did it because I felt I didn't just do it. That sounds ridiculous. It took me a really long time to get to the point where I felt like testosterone would be something that would be affirming for me in my gender expression. And I just said, you know what, like, I need to try this. And if I don't like it, or if I'm uncomfortable with something that happens, I either back off or I stop. And I knew that that would be, like, I was going to be okay with that. So it's actually been really nice because I have been feeling really great. Like, I didn't think I would be excited about facial hair at all. I was like, I'm just going to shave it all the time. And I actually find myself really excited about it. I don't think it's going to happen for a long time. I really don't have much there. And I don't know, I forget the timeline for it to really start growing. But I think it's different for everyone. But, you know, I'm excited about that. I never had leg hair. I never grew it out. And when it started to get thicker, I just started to let it grow out. And I actually really like it. That was surprising. It's crazy. Like, I didn't think I would be this happy and like fulfilled by this. Like, I didn't think that testosterone could do that, but it is. And it's really affirming, and like my expression in the world and how I feel out in the world and in society, like to be affirmed by people that see me that I am masculine, is really nice and more comfortable. You know, for me, having top surgery is going to be like the icing on the cake, because I've been binding for 3.5 years now, and it's uncomfortable. And as everyone knows, like, it's not great for breathing. I do the tape sometimes, but not most of the time, and definitely not at work. But, you know, like, that to me is like, to have pecs is like, I'm so excited. So, you know, I think all in all, you know, my mood is better. My anxiety has come down a lot. Now, certain things, certain situations definitely comes back. But, you know, I don't feel like depressed like I did before. I was going through it. I was on the struggle bus, you know, before I started T, and it's like really helped my mood just kind of like even out. It's better for me, it's better for my wife, and she has been like amazing, and I really don't know how I would do this without her. You know, she's just been like, every time I'm like, all right, these pronouns, and then she's like, okay, and I'm like, all right, different name now, okay, like, she's just kind of been on board, so I'm just really lucky. But yeah, I mean, if anyone has any questions, I'm happy to answer. I mean, there are like a bajillion people on YouTube making videos, but I just kind of want to share my story, and because everyone's is so different, and being in healthcare and working in healthcare and coming out as trans. If anyone else has experience with that, it's an adventure in and of itself. But yeah, if you have any questions or anything like that, if not, I'm just gonna, I'll keep posting like little update things, and if anything big happens, I'll let y'all know.